guys, it's Ryan with AIinsidertips.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you 3 large language models, or LLMs, that you may not have heard of that can actually generate some pretty decent outputs. Now, we all know what ChatGPT is. If you're on this video on my channel, I'm almost confident that you've used ChatGPT or you at least know what it is. I'm sure we're also familiar with Google Gemini, Claude 3, Llama 3, which is owned by Meta AI. There's all these different LLMs, and those are the big ones, but there are some that you may not have heard of and you might just want to try out. You may be surprised with some of the outputs as they're not as censored by these big tech companies. So the first one I want to show you in this video is called Mistral AI. I believe this is developed by or owned and operated by a company based in France. And this is what the interface looks like. It's 100% free to sign up. As you'll see, I have my account logged in down here. I just use my free Google account. But what you can do is you can simply ask it anything. So there's 3 different models here. There's large, next, small, and CodeStroll. So CodeStroll is actually their newest one where it can generate code, and it's geared towards or tailored for coding responses or coding prompts. I'm just going to use the large one. That's the one by default. And then you can ask it anything. I'm just going to say in this example, I want it to use it for ideation, as ideation is one of the top reasons why I use AI tools in the first place, to help me generate ideas for various topics and use cases. So in this quick example, I just asked Mistral to help me generate ideas for starting an online business, e-commerce store, drop shipping, blogging, online courses, coaching, etc., etc. So it does a very good job with these basic prompts. But I want to get something a little interesting here, as I have a couple censorship prompts, as if you try to ask these types of prompts in ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, they're going to fire back and say, we can't help you answer that. It's for censorship purposes. So now what I want to do is I want to go in here to Mistral, start a new chat. And I'm going to do something kind of a little edgy. I'm going to say, how do I break into a car safely? And then it says, because you've locked out of your own car. So it says, help someone else in this situation. However, it's important to note that breaking into a car can damage and is generally considered illegal against it's your own vehicle or against permission from the owner. Now, why am I showing you this? Because if I go to ChatGPT, for example, it says, I'm sorry, I can't assist you with that. If you're locked out of a car, it's best to contact a professional locksmith. So it's giving you a censorship response here like I wanted to show you. Whereas an LLM like Mistral, they're going to give you, it's a little more uncensored. What I'm trying to say here is it's going to give you a more uncensored response to various questions. So the next LLM that I want to show you that you may not have heard of is called Pi, or pi.ai is the URL. And I'll leave a link to all these LLM websites in the video description below so you guys can access these. Now, again, this is another free large language model. There's no cost associated with this. All you have to do is sign up with a free account. There's voice settings. So what I like about Pi versus others is that it has like a voice response. So if you use it and kind of talk with it like you would a normal chatbot or ChatGPT, you can have an option to read those responses to you in a different AI generated voice. Feedback, I did not mean to click that. And then it's just giving you all sorts of other things here. So it's giving you these pre-prompts that you can use to start with. We see this is common in a lot of LLMs. 7 things you didn't know about the ocean, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, what you can do is just start using it like you would ChatGPT. So I'm going to say, I need you to be an expert in YouTube content creation and ideation. So again, I'm asking an ideation prompt, as I use these tools for ideation all the time. And so here it's giving me ideas for different YouTube videos that I can use to generate on AI Insider Tips. And here's the AI voice response. So let's just say I wanted to do this. I want to show you a quick example. Let's do Pi 1.
Of course, here are 10 video ideas for your AI tutorial channel. M1. AI for Beginners, Introduction to Machine Learning.
Let's try another one.
Of course, here are 10 video ideas.
Of course, here are 10 video ideas.
Of course, here are 10 video ideas for your...
So kind of cool, guys. I mean, you can't do that on ChatGPT right now, from my understanding. And that is one of the differentiators of Pi, but also too, Pi is using a different training data set. So if you're unfamiliar in the world of LLMs, ChatGPT has its own data set provided by OpenAI. Gemini has its own data set used by Google. Claude has its own data set used by Anthropic, backed by Amazon. Every LLM has its own different set of training data, which is what I'm trying to explain here. Now, The benefit of using these is that you can just compare and contrast. You can ask ChatGPT the exact same prompt, Google Gemini, Claude, and you can just compare and contrast across the different large language models since they are using different data training sets. So you may be surprised at some of the responses that you get and how different they are versus a ChatGPT, for example. And that's the purpose of me bringing to you a video like this, is just showing you different options that exist besides using ChatGPT all the time. Maybe you want to try a different tool. Maybe you want to get a different response versus the same, typical responses that we see from ChatGPT generate. So that is the second LLM that I'm going to show you in this video that you may not have heard of, is Pi or Pi.ai. Now, the third LLM that I want to show you in this video that you probably haven't heard of, and this is the newer one out of the three, this is called DBRX, a new state-of-the-art open LLM owned and operated by DBRX, which is a very popular tech company. I'm not sure exactly what they do. I know they're a big tech company. So it says this was announced on March 27, 2024. And here's some of the benchmarks. So it's comparing DBRX to Llama 2, Mistral, Grok 1, Llama 2. So it's comparing it to Llama 2. I don't think this is updated for Llama 3 yet. But this is DBRX. So this is the LLM developed by DBRX. DBRX is becoming a very successful company. I believe they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange now. And what you can do here is just start playing around with these different LLMs. So if you want to access DBRX, there's like a playground type interface here on Hugging Face. Now, Hugging Face is a great resource to find all sorts of new large language models and LLMs that are up in the rankings. It's ranked by the community. They have all sorts of great resources here, but you can start using the DBRX model inside Hugging Face. So in this example, if I want to come down here, do the exact same ideation prompt as I did before, and basically just ask it for different YouTube content ideas. I'm going to be getting some different responses here based on what I got in Pi, and also if I were to ask Mistral the same thing. So if I paste the exact same prompt in Mistral, I'm going to get different responses from each one, like I've been trying to explain to you in this video. But anyways, guys, that is the third and final large language model that you probably haven't heard of that you can start using right now for free. It's called DBRX, owned and operated by the popular tech company DBRX. Now, if you're looking for even more LLMs, Hugging Face, speaking of Hugging Face, they have a great LMSYS chatbot arena leaderboard, and I'll leave a link to this in the description below, where it's having all these different benchmarks, and this is voted by the community here. So we have 107 models, there's over 1 million votes, and this is from community users using these large language models and giving their feedback. And so GPT-4o is ranked 1 from the community. That's OpenAI's latest model available on ChatGPT Plus or the free version now. Gemini is Google's model, GPT-4 Turbo. That's the previous version that you could find in ChatGPT, and you can still use it. Claude 3 Opus, I like that model a lot. We have Gemini from Google again, Bard, that's Google's old model. Claude 3 Sonnet. There's a lot of other ones in here. Mistral. I'm looking at some ones that I recognize. GPT 3.5 ranked 41. That one should be ranked at the bottom in my opinion. But long story short, guys, you can see here that these are some up and coming LLMs that you may not have heard of, as you can use a resource like this on Hugging Face. As you can filter by votes, you can filter by knowledge cutoff. That's actually a big deal in my opinion, because you want something that's not, outdated, and that was the issue with GPT 3.5. As you'll see here, the knowledge cutoff 9/2021. But anyways, again, just another great resource that you can use to find LLMs or large language models that you may not have heard of if you're getting sick and tired of using ChatGPT or Google Gemini. But that's it, guys. Again, this is Ryan with AI Insider Tips. I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Just wanted to provide you with 3 different LLMs or large language models that you might not have heard of to provide more resources outside of the traditional ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Claude, and all the other traditional LLMs that you may have been using and not satisfied with the outputs, as these are using different training data sets. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down, as I know what not to create in the near future. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel at AI Insider Tips, I would truly appreciate that. Guys, I spend hours putting together these videos for you with the goal here of trying to help you navigate through the overwhelming world of artificial intelligence. And last thing I want to mention is, if you haven't gotten my free guide on the best AI side hustles, you can find this in the video description or pinned comment below, where I show you how you can use AI to generate more than $5,000 a month in passive income online. I've leveraged some of these side hustles myself, guys, so I know it works. And again, you can find this below the video. But again, I appreciate you all being here if you've made it this far, and I hope you all have a great day.